पक्षी भी जानता है मुझे कहाँ सोना है, कहाँ नहाना है, कहाँ खाना है। उसके पास भी मन है, उसके पास भी बुद्धि है ना। ऐसे कुत्ते के पास भी है, गाय के पास भी है, बैल के पास भी है। अच्छा, तो ये झूले के पास भी है, ये झूला इसको है, क्योंकि ये इसमें मन बुद्धि नहीं है, ये प्राणवान नहीं है। करेक्ट। तो जहां प्राण है और जहां मन बुद्धि है वहीं पर मैं हूं का एक्सपीरियंस होगा। लेकिन ये मैं क्या है ये तब तक मालूम नहीं होगा जब तक कोई ऋषि, कोई संत, कोई महात्मा हमें सिखाए नहीं। अब जो हमारे इस देश के ऋषि थे उनको किसने बताया? भाई ऋषि कहते ही उसको है जो विलक्षण होते हैं, एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी, इंटेलिजेंट, स्पेशल होते हैं वो। इसलिए उनको ये ज्ञान था, पहले से था, और फिर वो ज्ञान उन्होंने अपने शिष्यों को दिया। फिर वो शिष्य एक समय पाके गुरुजी हो गए, फिर आगे उनके चेले हो गए, तो उन्होंने उनको ज्ञान दिया। फिर वो चेले गुरुजी हो गए, फिर वो गुरुजी ने आगे और चेला बनाया। तो ऐसे करते 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 आज हम हैं। तो अब हम गुरुजी बन के सिखा रहे हैं और तुम चेला जी बन के सीख रहे हो। अब अगर तुझे ठीक समझ लग गई तो संभव है कल तू गुरुजी बन गुरुजी बन जाए। तो अगर तू गुरुजी बन गया तो फिर आगे दूसरे चेलों को तू सिखाएगा कि हमें हमारे गुरुजी ने ये बताया था। जैसे हम बोलते ना, हमारे हमारे गुरुजी ने हमको ये बताया था। तो गुरु के पहले कौन था? और गुरु और गुरु और गुरु और गुरु और गुरु, है ना। तो ज्ञान की परंपरा जो है वो चलती जा रही। तो अपने स्वरूप का पता हमें तब लगता है जब गुरु अथवा ज्ञान हमको प्राप्त होता है। जिन्हें गुरु ना मिले ज्ञान, अच्छा गुरु भी कौन सा? जो ज्ञानी हुए। जो खुद ज्ञानी नहीं वो मेरे को ज्ञान कैसे देगा? अभी बहुत सारे जो आजकल दुनिया में चलते हैं ना, वो कहते हैं कि तुम हमारा चेला बन जाओ, मरने के बाद मुक्ति मिल जाएगी। और लोग सच मानते हैं, उनका चेला बन जाते हैं। आप मर गया कौन मुक्ति मिलेगा, कौन किसको मुक्ति देगा? गप है ये तो ऐसा जो जो चेला को बेवकूफ बनाए वो वाला गुरु नहीं। जो हमें जिंदा रहते जीते जी रहते सच क्या है बता दे, सत्य क्या है वो सिखा दे, हमारा अज्ञान दूर कर दे, हाँ, हम उसको गुरु कहते हैं। जब ऐसा गुरु मिलता है तो फिर ज्ञान, ज्ञान मिलता है तो आत्मा का निश्चय हो जाता है। अच्छा, अभी क्या है, जैसे पानी में यहाँ देखोगे तो रिफ्लेक्शन पड़ रहा है ना, दिख रहा है तुमको? साइड में लैंप लगा है, वो लैंप का पानी में आ रहा है ना। हाँ, तो रिफ्लेक्शन जो पड़ रहा है वो लैंप है कि झूठा है? रिफ्लेक्शन तो सच्चा नहीं है ना, लैंप बार है, राइट। तो अभी जिसको तुम मैं कह रहे हो ना, वो पानी में रिफ्लेक्शन की जैसे है। जैसे मन में जो मैं का आभास रिफ्लेक्शन होता है ना, अभी आप उसको मैं समझ रहे हो, वो आत्मा नहीं है। उसको हम कहते चिदा आभास। क्या कहते? चिदा आभास। चिद माने चित, चित, चित माने मन, मन का बड़े रूप को चित्त कहते हैं। तो चित्त, इस चित्त में जो आत्मा का आभास है, मैंपन का जो रिफ्लेक्शन है, उसी को कहते हैं चिदा आभास। समझे? पर अभी तो हमें चिदाभास का भी समझ नहीं है, क्योंकि सब लोग इसी शरीर को मैं बोलते हैं, राइट। जैसे मैं तुमसे पूछूं तुम्हारा क्या नाम है, बताओ, है? मेरा नाम क्या? जोर से बोलो। तुम्हारा कोई नाम नहीं है, शरीर को दिया गया है नाम। ये बैठे ना जितने बड़े ज्ञानी है, कपटी ज्ञानी सारे। ये देखो, सुन रहे हो? शरीर को जो नाम दिया गया है वो क्या है? उसका नाम है सक्षम। अच्छा, इस शरीर का जन्म हुआ कब? 2012 में। तो अभी शरीर की आयु हो गई 11वां शुरू हो गया है ना। और तुम्हारी आयु क्या है? मेरी आयु अनादि। कैसे? अच्छा, मैंने बता मैंने कैसे बता दिया ये? मैंने कैसे बोल दिया ये? हाँ, केनोपनिषद में आपने बताया था। हाँ, सही सही। तुम्हें केनोपनिषद याद है? पर ये याद है, देखो, सवाल ये नहीं है कि श्लोक तुम्हें याद है या नहीं याद है। सवाल ये है कि उन श्लोकों में जो ज्ञान था वो याद है कि नहीं याद है। हाँ, वो याद है, बस बात खत्म। तुमने कौन सा लेक्चरर बनना है ना वेदांत पढ़ाने के लिए? किसी फिलॉसफी टीचर क्या लेक्चरर तुमने बनना है? अपने लिए समझना है, बहुत है, अपने लिए समझ में आ गए। अब ये जो बात तुमने सुनी कि मैं की कोई आयु नहीं है, मैं अनादि है, और शरीर की आयु होती है और नाम शरीर को मिलता है, मैं तो अनामी हूं, मेरा तो कोई नाम ही नहीं है। अभी ये बात क्या है, बुद्धि में तुम्हारे कच्ची कच्ची आई, पक्की पक्की नहीं आई। तो ये पक्की करने के लिए थोड़ा सुनना की जरूरत है। जैसे जैसे सुनते जाते हैं, जैसे जैसे समझ आती जाती है, फिर ये जो पर्दा है दिमाग पर पड़ा हुआ ये उतर जाता। मन और मैं आत्मा का, मैं आत्म स्वरूप का और मन का आपस में अन्योन अन्य अध्यास हो रखा। अन्योन अन्य अध्यास मतलब क्या होता है? जैसे हम वो लैंप्स होते हैं ना, टेबल लैंप्स, अपने रूम में हम टेबल लैंप के ऊपर अगर मान लो लाल कपड़ा डाल देना तो लाइट भी लाल हो जाती। लाइट लाल हुई नहीं है पर लाइट लाल दिखने लग जाती है। हम उस पर ब्लू कलर का कपड़ा डाल दें तो लगेगा लाइट ब्लू हो गई है, जबकि लाइट ब्लू नहीं हुई है। कपड़े की जो रंग है वो उस लाइट के साथ मिलके एक ऐसा भ्रम पैदा कर देती है कि जैसे रंग बदल गया हो, पर लाइट अपने आप में एक्चुअली कलरलेस होती। लाइट का कोई रंग नहीं होता है। इसी तरह से मेरा और मन का आपस में एक का गुणधर्म दूसरे के गुणधर्म में आ जाता है। तो हम मन को मैं मानते हैं और मैं में जो सत्यता है, अभी मैंने कहा ना सक्षम के लिए कि मैं माने सत्य, मैं माने हूं और ये जो मैं है ये सत्य है। अब ये जो मैं की सत्यता है ये आ गई मन में, तो हमें ये लगता है कि हम ही सही हैं। एक, तुम देखो दुनिया में कोई नहीं कहेगा मैं गलत हूं, और लगता है बाकी सब मर जाएंगे हम तो जिंदा रहेंगे। ऐसा लगता है या नहीं? लगता ही मारो, सबको मारो। मैं है, लेकिन मैं और मन का आपस में जो संयोग होता है उस संयोग से हम, मन मतलब क्या है? इमोशंस, भावनाएं, विचार, इच्छाएं, गुस्सा, नाराजगी, प्यार, बेचैनी, सुखी होना, शांत होना, ये सब मन के अंदर चलता रहता है। पर ये सब हम अपने में मानते हैं। यही अध्यास है। अध्यास मतलब सुपर इम्पोजिशन। When the mind emotions get superimposed on myself, I begin to think I am upset, I am happy, I am unhappy, I am very quiet, I am joyful, I am depressed, I am silent, I am angry, I am excited. So, all these emotions were occurring in the mind, but because of this imposition of mind onto me, we see these emotions into me, and nobody says that my mind is upset. They say, I am upset. You don't say, my mind is sad. You say, I am sad. I am egoistic. Well, nobody says that I am egoistic. They say, I am self respecting. Self. So we call our ego as a self dignity sometimes. Nobody says I am egoistic. We say this to others. You are egoistic. What about you? Well, I am a dignified person. Others are not. They are undignified. Huh? So, emotions and desires happening in the mind, attachments and aversions which are there in the mind, we all see as if it is me. This is in Vedantic terminology we call Anyon Anya Adhyas. The attributes of the mind has been taken into self, and the attributes of the self has been transferred to the mind. Hence we see mind as me, we see this body as me, and we don't see the purity of our own true self. We see this body as identifying me. If I say, who are you? Like, even when you say, Amit Kumar, I said, Amit Kumar, and you raise your hand. What's that? You think this body is me. Now, this body was not always like this. When it was born, it was like what, 2 to 3 kg. Maybe some chubby baby is born is 4 kg. But in due course, the body grows from toddler to a child to a teenager, and now to your age. And then, if the life goes on, then maybe 60, 70, 80, 90 years old. The body is changing. The image, the picture of Amit when was like 2 months old, and then 2 years old, and then 20 years old. Is it same face? Is it same body? It's not. But yet the identity with that 2 month old, 2 year or 20 years or 25-year-old body, that identification is exactly same. The name of body was given by somebody, and then you adopted that name. Somebody is unhappy, they go to court, put a newspaper ad, and then you can change your name. You know, I don't like this name. I know of a boy who was named Stupid by his father. And when I heard, what is this? He said, I wanted my child to have a unique name. But this is wrong. Then I changed that child's name, and now that child is a young man, a married man, a businessman. So whenever he comes to see me, he says, Guruma, you have rescued me. If you had not changed my name in the childhood, God, how much ragging would have happened in school and college, because what a stupid name to have a name as stupid. But kudos to the so-called modern parents who give these modern names to their kids, without even understanding what it is. Anyhow, so the identity of the body is seen to be as my identity, and if something happens to this body, then you are scared and sad. Oh, I am sick. Oh, I am sick. But technically speaking, there was a time when you had not even one body with you. Like one body died, like previous life, and the new life has not yet happened. This means in between there is a time when you are without a physical body. Like one of my Swami friend was saying, he had a very clear memory of his past life. And he said this to me, that my last body died 40 years ago. And then this birth happened. So he knew about that body, that life, that family, that town, that, all details. And he said, now this birth happened after 40 years. So this means in between there was no physical body. But like if you go to sleep and you have some work to do next morning, so you just think about this is the work I have to do tomorrow. Okay, now I should sleep, and tomorrow when I'll get up, then I'll finish this job, this work. So you go to sleep, and in the sleep you don't feel your body. Right? You don't feel your body. And then after 6-7 hours of sleep, you wake up, the sleep is gone, and then you feel your body, and then you get up and go to do your work. So I can say that one body died and the next has not yet happened. See this time as a deep sleep time, out of which you can't come willingly and consciously yourself. It is only when Mother Nature will give you new body and then you wake up. But then you have forgotten what you were supposed to do in your life. And then humans begin to repeat the same silly mistakes which they have been doing in all their lives. Now I am saying that just focus on that time when there was no body. In a past body was gone, cremated. New body has not happened. Like deep sleep, there is no awareness. There is no awareness also about any body, and body is actually not there. What is there is the package of the subtle body. That's the Sukshma Sharir. That's your 5 senses of knowledge, action, 10, mind, intellect, ego, and your chitta, and your 5 pranas. This is the package which is like in the seed form, subtle and seed form. I'm repeating it, subtle and seed form. Like a seed of a peepal tree has a peepal tree hidden in the seed. But it will come out only when we sow the seed and the seed sprouts and the sapling comes and the plant and then the tree and the huge tree is grown in few years. But every tree is hidden in the seed. Now, seed is a very gross thing, but your subtle body is not gross. That's subtle. Not even can be seen with the microscope. Like you can't see an atom with a microscope. So this subtle body is like in a seed form, subtle form. And then when the right time comes, then this mind will be led towards that set of parents who will be becoming your future parents. And boom, the conception happens. And then new body gets formed in 7 to 9 month time. Delivery is happening. New body is delivered. See, we say we say the mother has delivered the body. Like you got delivery of a car, new car. Huh? So the body gets delivered. To whom? To you. Supplied by whom? By nature. Why? Depending on your karmas. Depending on your karmas. Right? And then this sense of I arises. Even in a 1-month-old baby, the sense of I is there. See, every day, that day I met this 2 very pretty young girls. I named them when they were 7-day-old. These 2 mothers flew from Jamnagar, Gujarat, brought these babies. And because I was supposed to leave for US for my tour, and they said, we wanted our baby to be named by you. So they came here, 7-day-old baby. I named that baby. And now that girl is like 7 years old. So both of them were here. I asked her, so what's your name? She gave her name and then she said, you named me. I said, when? Then I saw the mother. Ah, there you are. How come these babies are coming to me on like such a small notice of that day we had a baby who was like 6 days old, right? 6 days old, and the mother and the whole family came. Please name the baby. How many babies are born in say Gannor or Sonipat? But not every baby is coming here. So there is a big game going on. So the sense of I comes when this subtle body receives the gross body, and then I am, this sense automatically arises. But this sense of I am is not the real I. This is the reflection of the I happening into the mind. This pure self or the real self or Atma, whichever word you like, you can choose that word. So what you say now, I am, that I am is just a reflected one. That's not the truth. Now this sense of I am doesn't exist in deep sleep, doesn't exist when you fall unconscious, doesn't exist when the death occurs. So it's just very superficial. If somebody gives you a heavy dosage of anesthesia, the sense of I is gone. Right? And it's not that your sense of I will be gone. If we give this kind of anesthesia to any sannyasi or swami, even their sense of I will be gone. Nothing special. Because this sense of I is occurring because of activity of the brain, functioning of the mind, and the movement of the consciousness into the mind. So in together, this is a very interesting juxtaposed of these three elements which are working together, which gives arising the sense of I. It's very conditional. You don't have it in the deep sleep. But yet, you know it when sleep came, and you know it if it is not coming. Say tossing, turning in the bed, close the eyes, neend aaja, and neend saying, oh no, I'm not coming. And you might be richest of rich, you can't do anything to bring the sleep which is evading your eyes. But this sleep, when is happening, there is no sense of I. Now that's the intriguing thing. Yet this deep sleep is enjoyed by whom? You. That's the real you. That's not the reflected self. Got it, Saksam? Happy now. Happy. So this reflected self is conditional, and that's not me. That's not me. So that reflected self in Vedantic terminology is called Chidabhas. Chid means the subconscious, Abhas means reflection. So Chida, Abhas. Now, it's hard to understand that Chidabhas is not me. It's a very, very difficult term. It's very, very subtle. It really requires a very challenging intellect to understand. It's very easy to become an engineer or doctor or a space scientist. And it's more difficult to explore the reality of my true being, my true existence. And that is why in all the Upanishads, the stress is on who am I? We need to know that, because this life, this body is a very temporal thing. You never know when just in a one whack the body is dead. And nobody is prepared for that. Not about your own, not about your loved ones. You can't even think of their death. And if it happens, people are shattered and broken. And people wonder, why did so and so died? Well, everybody is born to die. That's the reason. Enough for death to happen. Why somebody dies? Because that was the program of the karma of that person. That for this long time only this body will be there and then this body will be gone. Because the jiva is always on the journey. We are experiencing sadness, goodness, happiness, pleasure, sadness, misery, dejections, acceptance, love, in marriage and children, and so much so. We are just gathering these experiences. We get possessive, we get obsessive of all this stuff. And we don't even care that when this body will die, we have no idea, we are not prepared, and we are just like a rat race of emotions. Society say, do this, do this, do this. So you are doing this, ticking the boxes. But nobody has either inclination or understanding or intelligence or need to find out who you are in reality. Born as a body, die as a body, live as a body. Without knowing who you are, without knowing what is reflection, what is Chidabhas, what is the true self. And this ajnana, this ignorance is like mind boggling. And mind is actually boggled with that. It's such a virus. It is like eating up the mind. And yet the mind doesn't has any understanding about why it is happening, why this whole nonsense is happening around us. So the reflected self is not self. Like again I'll repeat. The reflected lamp in the water is not the real lamp. And so when it's a full moon day, then in this pond you can see the reflection of moon. And in the morning when the sun rises, and if you are sitting across, which you are not allowed, but anyhow, I am letting you know, if you are across that pond, then sometimes you can see the reflection of sun happening in the pond. But the reflection of the sun is not sun. The sun is really up in the sky. Similarly, this sense of I which you have is not the real I. And you live your whole life seeing this reflected self as self and this body as me. And that's not true. So no wonder everybody is like so bewildered and lost. Because they have lost their own identity. You have lost your own identity. And that's why Baba Nanak rightfully says, Kahe re ban khojan jai. Don't go out to look for God. Sarv Nivasi Sada Lepa Tohe Sang Samai. The one who is all pervasive is right within you. Pop mad jyo bas basat hai, mukar mahin jaise chai. The way the fragrance is in the flower, the way the reflection is in the mirror, तैसे ही हर बसे निरंतर काठी को जो पाई. Similarly, the divine is right in you. बार पीतर एक को जानो ए गुर ज्ञान बताई. Guru's highest knowledge is saying the one who is existing inside is existing outside. Jan Nanak bin apa chine mite na param ki kai. But until you remove this mass of ignorance from your mind, you will never find your own true identity. And you will never find the divinity outside of you. So Baba Nanak is not saying say Vaheguru whole day and not look for the self-realization. Baba Nanak is saying go and seek self-realization. Know who you are. The repetition of God's name is just a tool to silence your mind and make it, don't go hanky-panky on the world and worry about the worldly stuff. And it's like saying to mind, shut up and do Nam Samiran. And just do Nam, don't do anything. It's not worthwhile. And then once you have calmed down your mind with the Nam Samiran, then comes the next stage, where if you really, really are lucky enough to look for a person who can guide you, help you as a friend, to explore who you are in reality, not this body, not this mind. In one place, Kabir Sahib says, "Is marte ko jo koi rove, jo rove apni pat khove." Kaho Kabir, hum Ram ki ans, just kagad par mite na mans. If anybody is crying for a dying person, is a stupid person, because the one who seems to be dead is actually not dead. The body is dead, the person is not dead. And if you are crying for thinking, oh, my so-and-so has died, well, his body or her body is died. Not the Atma has died. And if anybody cries for that, you will just lose your own self-esteem, your ijjat is gone. Kau Kabir hum Ram ki ans. I am like a ray of Ram. Like a ray of sun is sun, so I am a ray of Ram, so I am Ram. Kau Kabir hum Ram ki ans, just kagad par mite na mans. It's like Kabir Sahib is saying that if you write something, with the ink on the paper, and then you want to take that away. In old days, they never had those liquid erasers or something. So if you write on a piece of paper and you want to wash it off, and say if you wash it with the water, what would happen? The ink would be washed off, and so would be that paper. So he gives example, like you cannot separate the ink from the paper. Similarly, the God cannot be separated from you. Kau Kabir hum Ram ki ans. Just kagad par mite na mans. You cannot erase the ink from the paper. It's old times, in the Kabir Sahib's time. It's the not very good paper. Now we have laminated paper, It's a different story, different times. But example of those days. See, whether it is Kabir Sahib, whether it is Guru Nanak, whether it is Sri Krishna, whether it is any Rishi, they will never say God is away from you and somewhere up in the sky. Up in the sky, nice Saturn, Moon, Jupiter, well, beautiful heavenly bodies are there. But don't say God is up there. Not up there. So all those religions who say the pearly gates of the heaven are up there, they're making fool of you. Where you are, the divinity is right there. Now because you don't know who you are, hence you are absolutely, you're like a mad person, a crazy person. You ask a crazy person, what's your name? And he just scratches his head. What's your address? He scratches his head. Where are you going to? He scratches his head. For everything he has no answer because a crazy person. So if I ask you, from where have you come? Amit, from where have you come? But you can't give me an answer. I'm saying, from where have you come? So what you are saying is you are repeating certain words which I spoke at once upon a time. But in reality, if I ask you to ponder more, then your exact answer should be, I don't know. That would be more realistic answer. Better, yeah, you can choose that. Like in USA, if a police arrest somebody, they say, hold your silence, or your words will be taken against you. So hold your peace. Don't speak anything, or these words will be going against you. Don't speak anything. Be mum. Uh, not knowing the self, not knowing from where we have come, not knowing where we'll go, not knowing. Like that day, a child was asking, he said, she said, the girl said, why did my Nanu die? Her grandfather had died. So why did my Nanu die? I said, because everybody is meant to die one day. One day even my body will be dead. Your mom's body will be dead. Bodies are meant to be dead. But until the death happens, we need to grow up. We need to get knowledge. We need to live a beautiful life. We need to fill the life with laughter and meditation and silence. And she said, okay, I get it. She got it in this much time. I was very happy because I find all the children are extra brilliant, extra intelligent. And I always recall this t-shirt on which a young boy was wearing a t-shirt which had a slogan, I was born intelligent, my school made me stupid. Because your schools are not passing on the information about your own true identity. They are just talking about the academics, physics, chemistry, math, science. Well, even these are important, but more important is how to have a calm, collected, intelligent, beautiful mind. And how to know who I am, what's the truth of my existence. I'm not talking about teaching about God, I'm saying teaching about your own mind and teaching about your own existence. But that doesn't happen. So I have to do this job. So I get all fully grown up male, female, who are no more children, but I have to deal with them like a child. चैतन्य और चेतन का आभास दोनों में फर्क है. मैं और मेरे होने का जो विचार, ये जो फीलिंग आती है, जिसे हम वेदांत में बोलते हैं अहम वृत्ति, ये दो चीजें हैं. अहम वृत्ति और अहम दो चीजें हैं. अहम वृत्ति मतलब मेरी वृत्ति, मेरे होने का ख्याल जिसमें बन रहा है वो तो मन है. इसलिए मन जब नहीं मौजूद होता है तो ये वृत्ति भी नहीं होती. तो इसी को हम चिदाभास कहते हैं. पर चिदाभास को बहुत अच्छे से समझने के लिए ये जो विचार चंद्रोदय में टर्म आया था ना, अध्यास, उसको बहुत अच्छे से समझने की जरूरत है. अभी दिया ना उदाहरण कि लाइट रंगहीन होती है, जैसा फिलामेंट के ऊपर कलर चढ़ा हुआ होता है लाइट वैसी दिखने लग जाती है. या किसी बल्ब के ऊपर हम नीला पीला लाल कोई कागज प्लास्टिक का या कोई कपड़ा अगर हम लगा दें तो फिर रोशनी उस रंग की हो जाती, बट रोशनी लगता है कि वैसी हो गई. रोशनी का रंग बदलता नहीं है. ऐसे ही ये तुम्हें लगता है कि ये शरीर तुम हो, ये तुम्हें लगता है कि ये मन तुम हो, ये तुम्हें लगता है ये बुद्धि, ये दिमाग जिससे समझ रहे हो ये तुम हो, पर असल में ये तुम हो ही नहीं. जैसे मकान में रहने वाला मकान से अलग होता है, ऐसे इस शरीर के मकान में रहने वाला मैं इस शरीर से अलग हूं. इसी को हम आत्मा कह देते हैं. आत्मा परमात्मा एको करे, अंतर की दुविधा अंतर मरे, ये गुरबाणी में आता है. आत्मा और परमात्मा दो नहीं एक हैं, ये जानो और तुम अपने सब संशय और प्रश्नों और भ्रम को वहीं के वहीं खत्म कर दो. ठीक.